Hi there guys, another quick video today. Got Toby Parker
Hello.
from Hawthorn franchise of Hocking Stuart Bell Property. How are you, Tobes?
Good, thanks. Very well, thank you.
Mate, thank
Yourself?
you very much for joining us today. We've obviously known each other for quite some time from the old Melbourne High School alumni.
That's right.
Usually we're meeting up at the annual dinners rather than Zoom interviews. So it's nice
Times
to
have changed.
have a bit of a change. A couple of quick questions, Tobe. Number one, I saw on the TV the other day the clearance rates were down to 30%, but yet market values for the quarter had gone up by 0.8% or something like that. So can you translate that to English, please?
I can do my best to. I think I think the media is really trying to make a story where there isn't quite a story yet. There's a bigger story at hand here is the coronavirus, obviously, and how that's impacting the economy, all facets of it, from the share market to the property market. There's some adjustment going on, clearly, where we're moving to online auctions, probably the major thing. I think we can't get a clear picture on where the market truly stands for a few weeks until the first round of those auctions have come in. In the last 2 weeks, I've booked in 6 virtual auctions. So a lot of our properties in the initial change to the way auctions were being conducted converted almost instantly to private sales or by negotiation sales. Some of those they've all cleared through the system. We actually sold 8 properties in a week in that lead into when this was all beginning. And now we're booking new campaigns for the right property with virtual auctions. And I think that'll be a real test for it in 4, 5, 6 weeks time.
So prices are staying stable at the moment, but yet clearance rates are sort of low?
Yeah, so prices tend to have stayed fairly stable. It's hard to gauge them against where they're at because it's really a week by week basis. What I will say to you is qualified buyers are still out there. The way we're doing business now is extremely different, where we are just meeting people one-on-one. Yesterday, I had a day full of buyer appointments and a listing appointment and a price adjustment meeting and things like that, where we're getting properties ready and set for the market and making sure that we are trying to, as best we can, get comparable sales that are more relevant, more recent than ever. Although that's hard because there is a bit of a tail of the market before and after where we stand at the moment.
So how's technology coming into play now with the coronavirus? Obviously, are you guys still doing the one-on-one opens, and how's it changing the relationship with buyers and sellers?
Yeah, so what we're doing now is obviously with the new legislation around opens, it's really just a one-on-one viewing where we've got a link now on our website where you can book a private inspection. People press that link, they select from a number of different times that suit. If they don't suit, then they call us directly. We pre-qualify everybody that goes through. So once we get somebody booked in, we'll give them a call and we'll nicely ask, if they've got their finance in place, if they bid on something before, if so, did they miss out, if they will give us what level they bid to. It's often a nice thing to know as well before we take them through the property. Vacant properties are a lot easier to access, obviously, because people are not as concerned about who's going in and out because there's plenty of air and lots of space, not a family living there.
So are they still when people are going through these properties virtually, are they happy to make a decision to shell out $1 million or $2 million or whatever the figure is without actually going on site?
No, they will still want to go and physically see the property. So what happens?
Or make an offer.
That's right, yeah. Like yesterday was a lot of buyer appointments. It's completely changed the way we're doing business as far as the one-on-one element. It's a bit more like when I started real estate 20 years ago. We used to meet buyers at properties, take them, show them 2, 3, 4 properties in a day. It's really just going back to that because we didn't have this technology back then. So we would meet a buyer, we'd wait for the buyer book or a buyer inquiry to come in. We'd grab that buyer and then we'd take them and show them 3 or 4 different properties. Now, obviously, the newer real estate was open homes, auctions and things like that. But actually, I think the combination of both of the technology, the old sort of style real estate in the future is going to be the way we go. Because people are time poor, they don't necessarily want to slot into a certain bracket of time on a Saturday. That we may not be auctioning on Saturdays. All of our virtual auctions are going to be done during the week because people are pre-qualified now. And Saturday, when people have more time, going into the future, is probably going to be more for showing individual buyers through properties again.
That is unbelievable. So the auctions, so people actually going to auctions now, virtual auctions on during the week.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. And that's what because they've seen the property, we've made the time to take them to show them the property individually. You don't necessarily have to have the big crowd, because they have to have pre-registered and given us their license details, and then they're given a bidding number in order to bid, so that there can be no mistake as to who buys the property, and that it's all binding and all done correctly. So the technology is already there. We just weren't using it a lot in Victoria, because we were very much into street auctions and the theatre of that, and it was part of our culture. But I think that's fast changing because of the times.
Is there a particular software provider that most of the agents use in regard to the virtual walkthroughs and whatnot?
So with virtual walkthroughs, what we've started doing is more the warts and all type, where if you look at some of the ones I've done, it's been with a camera, me holding it, walking through the rooms and talking about the property. We still have the glossy professional, big zoom in and drones and all that. But actually the ones we're getting the most traction on tend to be the ones where the agents just grabbed their, a quality iPhone or, a DJI or something like that, walk through with a microphone so the sound's not distorted, and given a bit of a run through of the property. They seem to be getting the most traction because people are seeing from sort of the first-hand view of the property. But then they click, they are actually registered on realestate.com domain, so they can click those links. They're there under virtual inspection. They do that, then they make a booking if they want to see it. And then if they want to bid, they will then obviously just click the link and put all their details in for the auction.
I see. So it's as easy as like an agent literally just doing a walkthrough of property themselves, and then uploading it onto like a realestate.com.au type platform.
Correct. That's exactly what it is. And we've actually found that they are getting the best traction because they're more warts and all. They're showing people what not the wide angle lenses and everything that kind of distorts things, and people turn up and go, oh, it looks a bit smaller. When the agent's walking through with the camera, with all the lights on and everything naturally, so it looks professional, but more of a first-hand view of what they're getting.
And so were people using this a lot before the coronavirus, or now it's the only way to do business, is just like flourishing?
Well, in property management, we used to use the book and inspection now button. That's been around for years. So tenants had the privilege of this, but with the sales side of the business, we used to obviously utilise open homes a lot more and meeting people at the open homes in groups. So that side where you're booking an inspection was more of a call up, can I make an inspection? I can't make the time. But whereas the virtual inspections are really quite new. The one-on-one, not the professional videos, they've been around for years now.
Right. And what about the auctions? I mean, it doesn't sound like they're not going to get rid of this. They're not going to get rid of this technology anytime soon. Okay. So why would an agent, when this virus is cleared, they'll obviously be doing virtual auctions. They'll be doing virtual auctions anyway, because the reach and the scope is even bigger now.
Yeah, that's right. But I think it'll be on a sort of more of a case by case basis. I don't think the street auction and the art of that is dead. I really don't. I think there's something about the pressure of a crowd, just as a buyer, the uncertainty, being able to eyeball. You can do it through technology, but it's never quite the same. I mean, but certain properties, I have no question. I think that, reserving just Saturday and Sunday for auctions for residential property, I think that'll really change in the future. That's for sure.
So, I mean, look, if I was going to buy a house to go and live in for the next 20 years, I can tell you now, I'd definitely want to go on site and be part of the auction process. I mean, that's half the fun, right?
Yeah.
But for an investment type property, if I was sitting overseas and I was just looking for a straight investment for something to buy, then a lot of the emotion's sort of taken out of it. So you're finding that is the same situation. Like for the investment properties, people are just happy to go online, make a decision, and bid in a virtual auction. Versus if they actually want to live in the place, they're not going to make the decision online. They've got to be at the auction.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. I mean, the other way of looking at it is interstate. They do a lot of boardroom or in-house auction room for residential property for your 20-year home. I just don't know I'm not saying that we're not ready for that. I just think there is a bit of nostalgia associated with it. Maybe that's not moving with the times, and maybe that's the old school auctioneer in me coming out. I'm all new age. I love the technology. I mean, I think this was made for me almost, not the coronavirus, but if you come through our office, we didn't have to worry about switching people to remote because it was already done. It's like pick up your laptop. There's sort of the hot desking type arrangement. There's lots of breakout areas in this office. So this does not concern us. I mean, we could react to it really quickly. The virus concerns everybody, but the way we're doing business as a team hasn't changed. It's the public perception around the market, which everyone needs to find their own footing on this because it's uncharted territory at the moment. But I genuinely believe this is going to be part of this is going to be the new norm, and part of the old will creep back in as well.
I absolutely love it. I mean, it's such a scary and uncertain time for everybody, but yet, you know, we're forced to basically change the way that we do things, you know. And
I think it's great for families, you know, family time and just being able to slow down. Of course, we don't want our businesses to slow down too much. We're all taking a hit, but naturally, and that's mainly around confidence. But being able to slow down and really look into your business and what you're doing and how you're doing real estate and questioning everything at the moment is really what I'm probably enjoying the most out of such a strange circumstance.
So just on the quiet then, you're enjoying a bit of quiet time, Toby?
I've been flat out busy, but you can still, you know, your family's home, they're around, you know, my wife, the kids are there. It's just, I don't know, it just feels different. So yeah, I'm enjoying it a little bit.
Have a bit of a bit of an extended Easter break. I'm not sure how much we're going to be enjoying the break if term two gets cancelled and we're all homeschooling.
Yeah, that'll be interesting
for the next 6 months. But we'll have to wait and see, mate. Thank you very much for your time today. I know.
Pleasure. Always love talking about the market, real estate, the changes.
Yeah, mate. That's really good for the audience to see how. I mean, me personally, technology. I mean, I think it's obviously going to change real estate, but I think it will change the way valuers do things. I think it'll change the way tradies do things, and it will probably make us all faster and smarter and probably better for it one day. So,
I agree. I completely agree.
Thanks for your time, brother.
So, mate, thank you. Take care.